podcast. I'm Alex Chernak. This is episode 4. I've been gone for a few weeks, but I'm back now, and hopefully we'll be posting at a more regular cadence moving forward. What I wanted to talk about in today's episode is in-house versus agency. If you're someone that is just starting their career, or you might be currently working in-house for a brand, or your agency side and you're considering, hey, maybe the grass is greener. Grass isn't always greener. Grass is greener where you mow it. It's a quote I heard one time. So just wanted to share a couple of insights. This is based on my experience. I've seen this question pop up recently in Fishbowl, and I've seen obviously articles written about it. But what are some things that you need to be aware of and consider if you are looking at, like I said, if it's your first job and you're looking at joining a marketing agency, taking an offer there, or you're considering leaving a marketing agency to go in-house and vice versa. So the first one is obvious. So if you are considering going in-house, you'll most likely be working with a single product or a single line of products within a particular industry. So for example, if you're a marketer for a med device company, you might have multiple products that the company has in their product line, but you're generally selling to the same set of decision makers, same set of buyers. You're messaging sort of the same type of audience. You're probably selling your products to hospitals or rehab facilities. The positive to that is if you are someone that enjoys going, deeper versus wider as far as your knowledge of the space, knowledge of your product, this presents that kind of opportunity. You're really going to, spend most of your time working on a single line of products or services, so you will become the ultimate expert at those things. Now, on the flip side, when you go, if you're considering going to the agency world, and this is particular to small to mid-size agencies. I'm not talking to if you're going to go to work for McCann Erickson, probably going to be assigned to one account because the size of and the scope of work there is much larger. So small to mid-sized agencies, you'll probably be asked to work on anywhere between 2 to perhaps as many as 6 accounts simultaneously. So you're going to experience working with different types of products, services across a multitude of industries and verticals and categories. So you might have an automotive client that you're doing media planning and buying for. You might have a healthcare client that you're doing search marketing for, and so what happens there is sort of this the leveraging of information that you can take from one client or one engagement to the other, and you can sort of use it to upsell and win additional business. There's also kind of a serendipity effect that happens. You're just kind of hearing and absorbing information from your colleagues that are also working on disparate accounts, things you're hearing from your clients that you might not otherwise hear if you're just working in-house. So if that is if multitasking, if that is something that is interesting to you, that you want to go sort of wider than deeper. They talk about a T-shaped marketer, so that vertical line on the T. If you want to be a jack of all trades, master of most, then an agency might be more of the play for you. So number 2 is pace of business. So this is starting to kind of even out, but when we think of in-house, we generally think of the business just moving slower. Pace of sort of innovation and decision making. Those things take time. There's bureaucracy and org charts and those types of things. I'm not saying that they don't exist at agencies. They for sure do, but I think agencies are just naturally more adept at moving quicker. They tend to move at the pace of the market, or at least they need to survive. So, that's something just to be cognizant of. If you're someone that is, passionate about innovation and new ideas, and improving on existing processes, and these are total generalizations, but you might work for a really progressive business. Like I said, maybe it's an e-commerce business, but if you go, but just something to be aware of, that decision making, and taking advantage of emerging technologies, you might find that a little bit more challenging when you go in-house. Agencies tend to move a little bit faster, be more receptive to new ideas and actualizing those ideas, giving you the tools and sort of the support that you need to execute on those things. So, and that's the reason why companies generally go to third-party marketing partners to get that perspective and accelerate growth. Number 3, and the last item, is career progression. So if you go in-house, if you're going to be a marketer, digital marketer, or whatever, you're a creative, odds are, unless your in-house team is structured like an agency, you're going to be pretty much stuck in that one role, at least for a while. Maybe there's a director level or a CMO level opportunity at some point down the line. But I would expect to be in that one role and do that one job for a long while. And again, that aligns with, if you are someone that wants to build expertise, wants to build depth, you like repetition, then that might be something that gets you excited. When you go to an agency, you're generally going to have more opportunities to move up, or move laterally, or even switch your focus completely. So if you go into an agency and you start out as an account person, you might have an opportunity to become a producer. Or if you start out as in business development, if you desire to, you could move into strategy, right? So you will have more opportunities to grow that skill set, and those roles already exist. So you can kind of see, what you need to do to grow your skill set to move into those roles. So these are just a few items to consider if you're weighing the in-house versus agency decision. This has been episode 4, and we'll see you in the next one.